Sports Central, welcome back. Adam Deal, along with Charles Ashley, now joining us, head coach of the Cleveland Storm, Brian Smith, and the man himself, Ryan Jones, dropped 41 points in the APS Metro Championship game as the Cleveland Storm do beat Cibola. Guys, we have you on. We appreciate it. We were here talking 3 and out. A lot of debate. I just kind of set it up before we went to timeout, talking about districts and what have you. We'll get into all that, but first it's 3 and out here. And, well, the first topic on hand.
There we go.
It's you guys. How do you feel, Coach? I mean, you got 1 loss in the season to Centennial. You take on that Hobbs tournament, which is always tough. Win the APS Metro Championship, of course. You got to be happy with where you're at.
Definitely happy. Being 16-1, where we are now, we wouldn't have guessed that at the beginning of the year. So we're happy with guys like this and the rest of the team, the way we're playing. And it was a tough loss to us at Centennial, but it was one of those losses I believe was needed because I think it woke us up and kind of got us even more together than what we already were.
That's a good segue into what I was going to ask you. I was watching the box scores, paying attention early on in the season. You guys, it was scattered scoring. I think you had a game where you had 5 points or something like that. What is that a tribute to more of the expectations, or you just trying to figure out what lineups are going to work right now? Because right now you guys are clicking.
I think it's a little bit of both because honestly we've gone 13, 14 deep. We've had games where we've had 11, 12 guys score, and I think a lot of that is just the trust we have in our team, and a guy like Ryan, he had 5 that one game, but his teammates, 2 or 3 guys were in double figures. So we're really preaching the team over the individual, and lately Ryan's been carrying the load for everything we've been doing, and it's just the expectations are high at Cleveland, and with us being 16-1 right now, it doesn't get any lower. It's still high expectations for us. So
Ryan, semifinals, you go off against the Atrisco Heritage Jaguars, and then you match that school record and go for 41 in the APS Metro Championship. Were you just on fire those 2 nights?
Yeah, I was just feeling it those nights. I had a lot of confidence in myself, and my teammates were getting me the ball in good positions. I just took advantage of my opportunities.
I know you can score. Everyone in the state now knows you. We know because we cover
we always
sports.
Knew that, yeah.
What do you think you need to work on to excel at the next level? Because I know Coach Smith is going to teach you all the stuff fundamentally, back your teammates up, fight for your teammates. But as an individual, what do you feel you need to work on the most?
I do need to get a lot stronger, put on some weight. I'm a skinny guy. And I need to work on becoming more consistent on defense and doing more than just scoring.
Stop me if I'm wrong. I'm sure Coach has told you this. Defense will get you in the game at the next level.
Yes, sir.
All else fails, play defense, you'll get in. Coach, that tough district you have coming up, you have a lot of returners who know exactly what to expect. Yeah. What are you expecting from this district play?
I expect a battle every night. I mean, if you guys are covering it, you're going to see it. But, I think our district spoke for itself at the Metro tournament with 3 of the 4 teams, us, Rio, and Cibola being in there. And you can't count out Volcano Vista. And like you guys were talking about earlier, what Greg did and what they did this weekend down at Carlsbad and Hobbs, I mean, it's going to be a battle. And throw Santa Fe in there. A lot of people don't know a lot about Santa Fe because they haven't played a lot of area teams, but we played them over the summer, and I know that was a long time ago, but it's every night's going to be fun. I mean, we expect to go out there and continue to get better. That's our biggest thing.
I know this is tough just to throw out there, but us media guys, we've got to throw it out there. So last year you lost in the quarterfinals to Atrisco. You probably thought you had a team that could win state last year. Now you return a lot of starters for this year. I mean, is it state championship or bust? I mean, is that kind of what you think? We've had the team to do it. We've got to do it.
It's one of those we want to do it. And a lot of people want to do that, and the expectation has been high since day one. And we knew in the pit last year that we got that taste of being there, and we want to get back there. That's our motivation. We said that's everybody's motivation. So our thing we've been preaching these guys is trust the process. Let's let the end goal be the end goal and trust the process and getting there. And we do have all the parts to win one, but as you guys know, you've been covering sports a long time, there's a lot of things that have to happen in order for us to get there. But our goal is to get better every time we go out, and hopefully we're still standing the last day of March, or the last tournament day of March.
Ryan, you've got a lot of pieces on your team, obviously. You could score in any which way, but you also have a huge junior that's been big time for you. We all saw him since his freshman year develop, Marcus Williams. Talk about him.
He really gets us going. He's a really tough kid. He's a leader on the court, and whenever I'm struggling, he picks the team up, and even when I'm playing well and we're both playing well, it's a dynamic duo.
And I know having such a good scorer, a lot of times kids, they kind of get complacent. Oh, well, Ryan will take the shot. What do you have to do to really encourage, hey, guys, this is a team effort. shoot the ball or play defense. What do you have to say to get your kids?
You can talk with Ryan. We've never told kids to not shoot. Everybody's got the green light. We tell them, look, you got the green light, because we know that Ryan, the poor guy's had, I don't know how many boxing ones ran against him. So we've had to develop other things to get other guys shot, and we have the confidence in it. And I think a lot of that comes from our practices. If you've ever come watch one of our practices, it's a free-for-all. We don't blow the whistle. We don't stop out of bounds play. We just go. And so we let these kids have some fun while they're playing. We encourage them to go ahead and keep shooting.
Awesome. Now.
All right, well, let's move on here on 3 and Out on topics, talking with head coach Brian Smith and Ryan Jones. And let's just give a big overview of the District 6A, 1-6A. Look, I continually say I think this is the best district in the state, especially after the APS Metro. Well, you just kind of mentioned it a little bit. Do you think that Siebel is starting to hit their stride a little bit, and their younger guards are starting to grow up to be more dangerous in this district?
I think that trip to Hobbs that Siebel took really helped them out, because we saw them play earlier in the year, and they struggled a little bit with an identity. And that Hobbs trip really opened up the eyes of some of their guards. And I think throughout the whole Metro tournament, those guys stepped it up. And, they're a team to be, reckoned with. They got the inside game. They're developing the outside game, and they're getting some experience, and so they're a good team.
Ryan, do you think, excuse me, Charles, Ryan, do you think this district will for sure get you guys battle tested for the state tournament? You won't be afraid to play anybody. You know that you've been tested because it's such a strong district?
I think it will prepare us well, because every team, if we don't come out to play, every team could play with us in this district, so it's going to be a dogfight every night.
Which is a great segue into what my question was going to be. This year, everyone's saying how down basketball is. I don't agree with that. I think it's just a lot more balanced, which makes that #1 seed more important, I would think, because you don't want to be in that little middle cluster where teams are just as good as you. I know winning district is big, but are you also eyeing #1 seed? Get the #1 seed.
For the state tournament, we are. It's not a secret we are, because 1 and 16, 250, everything changes at that point. And that argument right now is us or Hobbs is #1. Well, we've had a tough schedule. They've had a tough schedule. We've played a lot of games on the road. They've played a lot of games at home. So it's one of those things. Get Hobbs out of Hobbs. We'll see how they do. But they're a great basketball team. And I agree with you. I don't think that basketball's down. I just think maybe the shift has changed to a different district, or a couple different districts this year. It's no disrespect to the other districts, but some of the other districts are a little bit down where they have been in the last few years, but that means the other districts have now elevated themselves.
I agree.
I think there's 3 teams in position to run the table and get the 1 seed and argue for, and that's Albuquerque High, who has 1 loss against Cibola. You've got Hobbs, who only has 1 loss against Centennial, and then your guys' only losses against Centennial, too. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out for the 1 seed.
It's going to be wild. I'm glad I'm not a part of it.
Listen, we're going to come back. These 2 aren't done. We got a lot more to talk about here on uSports Central. It's a Tuesday. Come on back.